Are you a South African musician trying to figure out what an artist manager is and what it does? Welcome to this episode where I plan on demystifying just that. Cue the intro. What's up, it's your boy Skill from skillmusicsa.com and welcome to my channel where I share information with my fellow South African musicians to help them improve on their music business. If this sounds interesting to you, please do consider subscribing as I do have other videos I think you will find informative. In this video, I plan on breaking down what an artist manager is, what it does, and how it pertains to you as a musician. So the very first thing is, what is an artist manager? Basically, an artist manager is a professional that oversees a musician's career and kind of advises and represents that musician. So typically a manager would be the one guiding the career of a musician based on what the musician is trying to achieve, and would be the one negotiating deals with producers, labels, and all sorts of different stakeholders within the music industry. So what are the typical duties of an artist manager? So the very first one, negotiating contracts. As you know, as a musician, there are several types of entities that you will be working with, and negotiating the contracts of that, it's either your job but preferably your artist manager's job. With all the technicalities and jargon within the music industry, an artist manager is usually the one that does the negotiating with regards to those contracts. If they cannot do it themselves, they will get a strong legal representative, i.e. a lawyer, to help negotiate these contracts. So typically an artist manager has good business acumen, good interpersonal skills to help negotiate, and very strong negotiation skills. That is just one of the duties that an artist manager does. Another duty that a manager would preferably do is marketing and creating the image of an artist. So this may vary depending on the type of manager that you have within, but they would be the ones presenting the view or the image that you as an artist want to portray. They'll be sorting out the imagery, the marketing aspects of what you are trying to achieve with regards to the vision that you have created as a musician. Another thing that a manager may be involved in is organizing touring. Now, this is not really always said because you can get a separate tour manager, but the artist manager would be the one that would come up with suggestions on when to go about touring, and the touring manager would actually focus on the technicalities and the details of the tour that you want to go and achieve. Depending on what stage of your career you're at, the type of manager would assist or help or find someone to assist you with the touring that you want to achieve in terms of your music. Another crucial part of what an artist manager does is called artist development. This is crucial because you as humans generally do develop, but depending on the type of vision that you've given your artist manager, there are certain things that they may be more attuned to know how to go about developing you. Like, I highly think that if an artist manager were to come to me and does not offer a way for me to learn more about the technicalities of the deals, then that is not the type of manager I would want. But some artists prefer a manager that does not pass that on and gives them development in terms of lyrical writing, composition, etc. But it is really based on the type of relationship that you and the artist manager have arranged, and you particularly the type of manager that you want. So highly suggest that you get one that matches the type of objectives you are trying to achieve. Another critical thing that artist managers are involved in is money management and basically how you go about receiving your money. As artist managers do take some money from the music that you make and other revenues that you make, it is highly crucial that you get an artist manager that understands how money works. Now, this may be in several ways. They might actually just give you a detailed plan on how to go about budgeting, or they might allocate you money to go about getting better education financially, or they might help get a financial advisor. But this is also dependent on the type of person you want to be and the type of artist manager you get. But managing of money is very crucial because many arguments do happen when an artist manager is involved with your money. So I highly suggest you get one that has a strong sense of financial know-how. Another typical activity that artist managers do, they actually help get you multimedia opportunities, which are linked to promotion in some sense. So multimedia opportunities would be such as being on TV or YoTV, where you present your next single, but they may be working with a PR agency or another form of marketing segment to help them achieve the certain goals that you want to achieve. But marketing promotion is another multimedia promotion that an artist manager does. So how does an artist manager go about making money? Typically, an artist manager takes a percentage of all income that you get. So this varies, and the music industry kind of says between 15 to 30%, but this is also very dependent on who is the bigger person in terms of the negotiation. When I mean bigger, I mean who has the more clout. So if the manager has more clout, you're more likely to play closer to the 30%, but if you're the one with more clout and more know-how, you'll be able to negotiate it down to 15% and maybe even 10%. So that is how they go about collecting money. Now, negotiating is also up to you. There's no set blueprint, but I highly suggest, if you are going to go into an artist management type of contract, that you get an independent lawyer that is not linked to the manager to scrutinize and go through the contract. And the lawyer may be able to raise red flags where they think this is not considered standard or fair to you as a musician. Another thing I would like to highlight with regards to getting artist management is you basically want to have a vision of what you want to achieve before you go about getting a manager. What do I mean by this? Basically, you as a musician are not only an employee of your own music hustle, but you're also the CEO and the visionary of this music business that you're trying to create. You create the music, but you also have a vision of what you're trying to achieve. So if you are trying to achieve, let's say you want to be touring every single week, then it makes sense to get a manager that has key know-how and how to navigate the touring segment. If you want to be a type of musician that wants to be placed all the time, that's not really big on touring because you have a family, etc., but what you really want to achieve is syncing, trying to get onto TV, but not you personally, but your music to be there, then getting that type of manager that focuses on multimedia opportunities and sync is better suited to you as an artist. It's really pointless to get a manager that's focused and really good at sync if you really want to focus on touring. So getting the research done before you get this manager is highly preferable. And another thing that I found very interesting is a lot of artists want a manager because they manage someone else. If you look at that someone else's hustle and see what they are doing and it matches you personally, then that is probably a really good thing. But if that artist does not match what you're trying to achieve, that manager will not necessarily be the good fit for what you are trying to achieve. So I highly suggest that you do not focus on getting a manager unless you know the vision that you are trying to achieve and where you want to go. Another big thing that I'd also like to suggest is networking opportunities are big. So having a manager that has already got a network is something that you must consider, and the knowledge that the manager does have. If you are able to ask the manager a question that is somewhat more technical, not necessarily on the music front, but on the music business side, and if they give you an answer that you feel is okay, this is a correct answer, then you can trust that manager better. But I highly suggest that you don't just jump into any management deal but without actually knowing what this person is doing, how this person is fitting in terms of the vision that you want for your music, and if it's going to progress you. But that concludes this video, and I hope you found it informative. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, as I do have other videos I think you'll find informative. I would also like to remind you that I have a music course titled Music Publishing in South Africa. The course is only 100 Rand, and this is some of the duties that your manager could be covering, but it's also very specific to the vision that you're trying to achieve. But that concludes this video, and until next time, Skilligan the Hooligan signing out.